All right, howdy there. This is some what I call Lowland Creek Rhyolite. You can call it a chert too, I guess. It's an interesting material I found this summer. It's in an area where it's listed as basically as volcanic deposited metamorphosed or sedimentary rocks. I don't know. Anyways, I call it rhyolite. It comes in two flavors: brick red and this kind of light greenish blue. And I decided to do some heat treating on this, so I put a whole batch of it there in the turkey roaster just to see, because I heat treated a couple pieces on my last batch, and I know they got up around the 500 mark and had some interesting results. So I decided to spall out and do a whole batch of this stuff, and it's pretty interesting. I think it actually did work. Now the material itself, it's either comes in those two colors, but as far as the quality, the graininess, and the any inclusions or anything, it does tend to vary. I find some pieces that have a lot of these ash pockets in it, or have more of a rough, grainy texture, and then some that have very little inclusions. I mean, there's a little bit of ash pocket there, but really fine grained, really smooth. It's all really hard material, just like most rhyolites. It doesn't want to give it up easy. But I've just tested a couple pieces so far, and I am pretty intrigued at the results I'm seeing. This is a piece that came out of the heat treat. You can see where I flaked it. You got some color change. I wouldn't call it glossy, but it definitely is a little more vitreous in the flake scars, and the grain seems to have slipped up a lot more. So it looks like it really actually did improve the material. I've only tested two pieces. That one, here's another piece that started out. This was the more grainy material, and a couple of test flakes. It seemed to improve this one as well. So I'm going to run through this stuff a little bit and see what we got, because if this did actually end up working, that's going to be pretty exciting. So I've got a lot of this material, and it does nap well, but it naps characteristic of a lot of the rhyolites you find, and it's just like real hard to nap, very hard material, likes to hinge, that type of stuff. So it'd be great if heat treating does really help improve. Now these have both been heat treated, but as an example, this is a piece that I spalled out from. This has not been heat treated, and you can hopefully tell it's a grainier texture, so like a low mid quality. And this is probably the same material, so this is probably a spall from a block, either this block or another one similar to it, and quite a bit of improvement in material quality. So that's good. This other one, this is a unheat treated piece, and this is pretty slick, pretty nice, naps well. This is like the high grade raw version of this material, and this is the heat treated version, and this is the one that slicked up really good. In fact, I may keep whacking on this one and just see how it does. It's got some crystal, I wouldn't even call them crystal, more like ash pockets in here, but real nice fine grained stuff. So I'm gonna work through a little bit, see what we got. Oh yeah, that worked really good. Yep, that is a huge improvement. That flakes way easier. than it did before, even this high grade stuff. So again, it comes in either this brick red, which seems to, the heat treatment seems like it's pushing it kind of more into the gray color scale there. And in that light blue stuff, I'll grab a piece of that here in just a sec. Yeah, that's nice. Got a few friends out there I think will be happy about this. I've sold a little bit of this and I've given some away to a few friends just to play around with. And people like it, but it's just so damn hard. So this is great because that's going to make it a lot more workable for more people. Yeah, that's real nice. I'm happy with that. I have to try and knock out a biface this evening. Yep, that's good. Not the ash pockets, but just how well that flake came off. It's really nice. See, before heat treat, that would have probably hinged right in here somewhere pretty bad. I mean, it still did, but it came into a rise in the material there, so that's going to hinge no matter what. Let's see. Find a piece of... Try and find one piece that's of that grainier material. Yeah, so here's some of that lower grade grainier. I don't know if it's showing up on here or not, but it's just more grainy, just not as slick raw. Oh yeah. Yep, that works really, really well. Nice. Very good. Have to send this down to some of my friends down south. Paul Hilliard at Bodark Lithics did some playing around with this stuff in slabs and fog style knapping, and some nice points came out. It's just not really conducive to that much pressure flaking, again, because of how hingy it was. But man, I think this may actually, especially some of that higher grade stuff, this may work out really well. I'm gonna have to send some more down there to them. All right, let's try it. So this is some of that blue-green, grayish stuff. I think this actually has darkened up a lot. This is the color it is before. Well, it's changed a little bit, but this is pretty close to what it is before heat treat. Let me find a piece. Yeah, so pre-heat treat, this is that grayer, and if it's not showing up, there is like a blue-green tint to it. It's really pretty. Some of it even gets really blue. So, and I cut some slabs off of this to try pressure flaking in. Just, I'm not that good at that anyways, so I didn't have that great of results. So darken it up, and that definitely seemed like that ran a lot easier. Now this is still kind of grainy in there. And I think, you know, the limitations of the turkey roaster, you know, I can only get up around 500 or so. So I am wanting to get a kiln this year. I bet this would take a little more heat and would continue to improve to some point. But that's just, man, that's like so much easier to nap after the heat treat. Because this stuff, man, it can really be hell. Yeah, that worked. That's pretty good. Good. Gosh, it almost seems like it overheated. Like got some hairline cracks in there. Yeah, see that's it's not pot lidding, but yeah, there could have been some internal cracks that were already there that had healed, but have the heat process weakened them enough that they're coming off pretty easy now. Color change is really cool. It definitely darkened it up. That's pretty waxy. That's pretty slick, considering. Yeah, that's some lower grade, more grainy of the brick red. Still grainy, but it seems like it did. It just kind of, it didn't gloss it up. I mean, it almost, I guess you could technically say it glossed it up. It's more of a luster, but I mean, it's still really dull. It's just waxier. Yeah, now I'm really curious what I'd get up in that 550 to 600 degree range. And I heat treated this. Let's see, I did a 24-hour drying cycle at 200, and then I did, man, I just cranked it all the way up to 450 and let it sit for another 24 hours. So probably 8 hours to get to max temp, because it's out here in my garage and it's pretty cold at night. And then, you know, 12 to 15 hour soak. Turned it off yesterday evening, about this time, maybe a little bit later. It's been cooling. It's not warm at all, so it's completely cooled off. But like rocking a flake through that thick a piece of this material before heat treating would be really hard with this size popper. Yeah, I wouldn't be trying to do that because of how much harder it is before heat treat. It would hurt, to say the least. It seems to have helped a lot, though. All right, here's a biface. So this is about what I usually will get to before I either create just a nasty hinge or just walk away because I'm tired of beating the snot out of my joints and hands. Let's see how easy it is for me to thin this down. I suppose I could probably pick a better camera angle too, right? I wasn't thinking about that. Let's try this. Hang on, bear with me. I don't know, that's probably going to be a wonky angle, but let's try that. Or it's the same fucking angle. Yep, same angle. I'm an idiot. Sorry. I was thinking it was going to be the portrait style view instead of landscape. And I'm already the thinnest I've ever gotten a biface out of this stuff. So easily. That's crazy. Heat treat's an interesting thing, man. How it works. And I've seen some better, thinner bifaces and pieces made by much better nappers than myself. So for me to be at this point already says a lot about the improved napping characteristics of this material from heat treat. For sure. Yeah, that's a lot better. That's good. Let's see. All right, here's a real grainy piece. So this is very, very similar to, like, man, I would say like a red brick. Just a red, like, average, run-of-the-mill masonry red brick, right? Just a light color. It's grainy, but still smooth. Yep. That's so much nicer. Like, I really wonder if I can get it to glass up more and get slicker, but really that's already like a really great degree of improvement. Like, that's pretty damn good. That's pretty slick. I like that. I've thrown this stuff in with other heat treats before, but never with any material that I just knew I was going to max out the heat and not even worry about it. I really haven't heat treated anything that required that much temperature to get it there. So yeah, I'd done some of this stuff and just really never paid attention to any improvement in the napping quality of it. So I always just wrote it off. And plus, you know, this stuff is either rhyolite or it's like a fine-grained sedimentary deposit from eroded rhyolites or things like that, volcanics. And so it just, you know, most of the rhyolite I find or knap, it's pretty tough stuff. And there's some stuff that just doesn't heat treat, right? Porcelainite doesn't heat treat. And so I always just kind of assume, you know, like obsidian doesn't heat treat, right? It's volcanic in origin. So just thinking this stuff, well, it's volcanic in origin, it's just not going to heat treat, but that's not true. It's actually, these are really good results. I'm very happy with the results. I got a lot of it, and it's cool stuff. It naps well, it's just, god dang, it's hard. You know, when it beats the crap out of your materials or your tools, really does a number on the copper billets. I don't really do a lot of antler napping, but definitely not on this stuff because it's always so hard. I needed something harder and heavier, like copper, to work on it. I know there's folks that could do it with antler, but I'm not that good. Avo style. Yeah, that's cool. I love the color change, how it's darkened it up. Really nice. It's cool, man. All right, so here's this is a really fine grained piece here. I really thought I'd put more of the blue-gray in there too. I thought I did. Maybe it just darkened it up so much I'm not seeing it down there. But yeah, check out that. Got some like sea foam green coloring in there. Yeah, that's cool. Let's see. More testing. All right, here's a big old chunk of mid-grade. Got some ash pockets in there. Flakes well, but grainy. I mean, you can see, so there's I use a brass spalling hammer. So this was when I spalled up this batch to heat treat. So these are fresh flake scars right here. Okay. Before heat treat. Yeah, that's great. Still could get better, but I'm really optimistic. I think more heat is going to get me a little more improvement on there. Dang, that's a nice spot. Yeah, that's great. Heck yeah. some darker blue-green. And not all these spalls were meant to come out and actually be napped into anything. Most of them were, but I was also just throwing material in here just to take up space and to be tested. So I'm not too worried about everything turning into a biface or a point or whatever. That's good right there. And the reason that's why I'm only wearing one glove. I wanted to be able to feel the texture and see if it's improving the grain quality. I think the next batch I'll probably like kind of label everything, or a lot of stuff, like rated, low, mid, high. Then I won't have to guess when it comes out what it was beforehand. I mean, I just can't say enough how much easier this stuff is napping right now compared to before, especially the blue-gray. The blue-gray was typically a hell of a lot harder. Like, you really had to smack on this stuff. I really thought I had bigger pieces of that blue-gray in here. And I'm wondering if they didn't, I think they just darkened up so much and they went towards the red. They got redder, so I can't really, having a hard time telling what was what. I think it did on some of it. I think it just made it real red. Nice. That's really nice. Heck yeah. This is exciting because it's a really cool material. It's really pretty. When I found it, I was really excited because there's a lot of it. I found a nice big outcrop of it that I can go collect it on public land. And then I started napping it, and it was like pretty hard for me to nap. Real hingy. And, all right, not a complete dud, but kind of a dud. Like, good stuff to bring home and learn how to spall. That's kind of what I had written it off as. It's like, okay, I'll use it for this. And that's about it, or, you know, give it away to folks, sell it for, you know, like basically nothing. Like, you pay shipping. After I sent it out there to a few folks. Really, actually, I didn't even give away a lot of it. I sold a few batches of it, got some feedback from folks. I kind of came to my own conclusions. Some other people came to theirs. Some people liked it. They like napping that harder material, rhyolites and such. Some people want to like it, but it's just they don't nap it as well, like me. And then some people just don't. No, not even gonna mess with it. Which I understand that too. Piece. It's really not a Cortex, but find these bands of crystal. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if it's silica or like a bicarbonate or something like that. Calcite. I'm really not sure. I haven't tested it yet. I've been meaning to, just to see. But find these cool layers of crystals in there, filling in all the cracks. That's what made me think that it had gone through some silicification. I don't know if that's the right word or not, but okay. So that's the color this was before heating it, and that the heat treatment seemed to kind of, in some cases, it lightens up, or it moves it towards the red on the outside. Got the cool two tones there though. That's pretty good, man. I'm pretty stoked about that. That's definitely a good napping material now after that heat treatment. Definitely a lot better. This can be a lot of fun. Getting to know this stuff. A little friendlier material for me. And it's pretty. I've always loved the colors in it. That may be one I have to buy face. Yeah, I'm gonna set that aside. That one, this one right here, this one darkened up really good. And there's some of the, I don't know how well it shows up, but some of the crystal bands or layers in there. This looks like some pretty slick stuff right here. Oh yeah. Yep. Oh, you can just hear it on that one. Yeah, that's definitely more of a high pitch, kind of a glassy ring to it when you hit it. Yeah, that's really nice. Yipper. I'm liking that. Let's see if I can take this. Try and take this ridge off right here. I'll move on to the next piece. And I'm not going to film this whole turkey roaster full. I just wanted to catch kind of the initial reaction and impression on this batch. I don't know why I did it that way. I'm paying attention. Use the billet, not your finger. Nice. There should be a little point hiding in there somewhere too, I bet. Oh, that's all. Let's see, what else do we got in here? That one. Those few. And so what I'm going to do, I do have a whole pile of this stuff. And I got some more big pieces out there by the fence. So I'm going to spall up another batch probably this evening and go ahead and put it in the turkey roaster and get it drying out and keep testing the keep testing this stuff for heat treatment. Okay, so a couple more pieces here. I think it's very similar to how like Keokuk can go when you heat treat it. So, you know, those pieces, it could be really dry and grainy, almost like a chalky feel. And then you heat treat it, and it doesn't gloss it up like that super slick Keokuk, but it definitely glosses it up enough and improves it to where it's a much easier to work material.
Hi, sir.
Well, hi.
Hi. What's your phone password so we can all play?